Right, Dean, cheers mate for coming. Spoke to you last week and I proposed to you if you want to have a wee talk about your mental health. Basically, I find you interesting. You're mad as fuck, but you're one of the most talented strongmen in the world and definitely one of the best strongmen that's come out of Scotland, the amount of titles you've got and all that. But one thing that sticks in my mind is when it back to last Christmas when you posted that video. You were in tears and it was a really dark time and a message you said, look mate, I actually phoned you and I never got you. I think I phoned you 2 or 3 times and never got you, and then it was voice notes. Obviously you didn't really want to talk to anybody and you're saying like I'm in a really dark place but I'm a wee bit better since I posted the video and all that. So a lot of people know Dean Mcvie the strongman. They know the titles you've got. Oh, Dean's a great guy. Oh, he'll speak to you in the gym. Oh, he's fantastic. He's going to win the Worlds, and I've got no doubt that world title will become yours. But what goes on in the day-to-day life as somebody that's suffering with their mental health?
That's a good question, mate. I think, how do I describe it? I'm never really good at answering any kind of questions, by the way, for the people that are watching. Pretty much like my mum took her life when I was like 9 and never had a father. Brother passed away. So I was just a wee bit lost as a child. Tried to stop my mum from killing herself when I was 9, and it was all these sort of like memories that haunt me and all this kind of stuff. And it's, I suppose I saved my life, if anything, and that's sort of why I do it. But now I've just been in a competitive stage now, which is I suppose I'm prospering at the moment, but I'm just trying to think how to actually answer that in a proper way.
Well, there's no right or wrong answer, mate, because obviously some days you're going to wake up and, like the day, you woke up the day and you know that you had to come here. So straight away you've got structure, but there's got to be days that you wake up and there's fucking nothing in your head. Is that maybe when it runs wild?
I would say I start, I'm pretty proactive on that. I do a lot of online coaching, got a lot of clients, and I'm very grateful for that. One-to-one clients and my own training. But then when I do have a wee bit of downtime, that I suppose that is when I do procrastinate a wee bit. And I do start thinking a wee bit different if I'm not being proactive, we'll say. But this is a good example. We're doing stuff. But I just I need to keep myself occupied. I think it's probably a military thing as well, if anything, being proactive.
Well, that leads me on the next point. When you say about your mum, mate, sorry, but I never actually knew about your mum. I knew you were brought up with your gran. You've mentioned your gran a loads, but I never knew the circumstances with your mum. Yeah. So, 9-year-old, you lose your mum. What age did you join the Marines at?
I joined when I was 20.
20. So were you ready into fitness then? Or was it the Marines that got you into fitness? Or?
I started lifting weights when I was 14. Right. Went to Inch Community Gym, which was run by an old fry called John Clements, and it was a proper old school bodybuilding gym. Proper like Dorian Yates temple gym. And that's just where it started. I was always fascinated by bodybuilding. I always said to myself I was going to compete as a bodybuilder. Eventually I did. Joined the Royal Marines when I was 20, and then when I left about 24 roughly, that's when I was like, right, now I can prep, do a couple of do some bodybuilding shows, do all that hard work, all the hypertrophy training I'd done before it. I didn't realise it was going to be that tough. Getting ready for bodybuilding shows is absolutely horrific. It's a 24/7 fucking job, we'll say. The diet, just the deprivation of your social life. Financially, you're run down. You're technically just malnourishing yourself to some degree, but trying to give a finished product to represent on a stage, which is a bit weird, and then put fake tan on it and all that. But I didn't regret it, but I wouldn't go back to it. I'd done 5 shows. I got to British level in Liverpool, and I just stepped back for it because I knew the second I wanted to do strongman was after my final bodybuilding show. As I was walking off stage, I was like, fuck this. I was like, I'm doing strongman now, because I didn't really like the idea of going off someone's opinion as well. And
one thing that I've always thought with bodybuilding, anybody gets into any sport to go to like some sort of national level, they're obviously applying themselves very well and respect them for whatever they do. Bodybuilding is not something that I could ever do. I do not have that mental toughness. Because as you mentioned, you're basically malnourishing yourself for somebody's opinion. Did you was there demons in your head back then? Obviously, since you've said since childhood, Was bodybuilding harder today because of the amount of mental toughness it took to stick to the diet, or were you just totally distracted because you were so focused on the end product?
Good question. I've always been fascinated by it, and it was always the only thing that stopped me from actually competing was being in the military. There is lads that have done it, but you know, you get a fastball and you're like, right, you're away into the field, and next week you're like, well, that's my fucking nutrition out the window. You know what I mean? Because that's but fucking 90% of fucking bodybuilding's in the kitchen, really, in my opinion. But it was just to distract me. If anything, I've got a very addictive personality, so when I do something, I go all in. It's probably a healthy thing, but also not a healthy thing to some degree. It has got me to where I'm now in success, but when I do something, I do it with 2 barrels at the time. Hopefully I answered that.
I know, mate. It just kind of fascinated me how somebody with mental health issues, and I know maybe I'm just being judgmental here. I always think the most mental thing to do is be a bodybuilder. I think it's probably the most mentally tough one, just purely for the eating. You can go and do powerlifting, you can go and do strongman, you can go do fucking ultra marathons, but at the end of the day, you can sit down and stuff your face. Bodybuilding,
but bodybuilders are a different breed for any sportsman or sportswoman. I almost lost my job. I was natty at the time. We can talk about that, which I'm very open about. But I done natural shows. My hormones were wrecked. Couldn't read books. Almost lost my job. Thank God I didn't have a partner of that, because everything else was wrecked there and all. Just the deprivation. It's like you need to be a different kind of breed to do a bodybuilding show and continually do it, because a lot of people just do it once. They go, right, I've done it. I've ticked that box. Right, I'll do powerlifting or strongman, because a lot of people do that. But I done. It took me 5 shows to realise that. I fucking hated it. And I never won one as well. I always got, fuck knows how many second places I've had, but I think I got like 3 second places or 2 second places in bodybuilding. And I was just like, nah, fucking, this is getting a wee bit tedious.
So you went for bodybuilding, and like you said, your head wrecked, your body was fucked, you nearly lost your job. You said you're grateful you never had a partner, because you probably wouldn't have been the best partner to have.
Definitely not. I probably still wouldn't have been now, mate.
So when did you go for bodybuilding into strongman? Was it kind of like instantaneous, or were you just kicking about the gym for a while?
It was immediately straight in it, and I'm grateful to meet him. But a boy, a lot of Scottish strongmen will know him, Ryan Reid. He doesn't actually compete in the mare, but he competed Opens. And Scotland's Strongest Man finals and that.
And he was a 105 first. And then went to the Opens and brilliant strongman.
Personally, if he went all in, I reckon at the time he probably could have potentially beat Stockman's. He was that good, because he was up there. He was totally up there, but obviously family and all that kind of stuff and whatnot. He took a back seat in that, but he got me into it. He gave me an interest in it as I was prepping for the bodybuilding shows in Gracemont Bodybuilding Gym. And it was always there in the back of my mind, and that's when I just walked off stage. I was like, right, I'm doing strongman. The week after, I think I took like a week off, started getting back into a caloric surplus, and I was like, right, that's when I started speaking to Ryan, Kenny Sim, who was in the Royal Marines with, Mary Anderson, we're off through in Drem. This is back in 2016, and that was Team Hulk, Big Mark Hunter, who I think he originally started that, and then it just started going arms and legs. So there, done a novice comp, Team Hulk novice, and it was sort of like an open thing. I can't mind where I placed. I done alright. I got like the fucking Warrior Trophy or something, like, you know, like the hardest work competitor or whatever it is in the comp, and I just went, I was like, right, I'm all in with this. And then went to the BNSF, like doing on the natural shows, because I was natty at the time, and just kept going and going and going, and just kept getting stronger and stronger.
So when, like you said, you had like maybe like a week off or something like that, and straight into strongman. Did you notice any immediate impact in your happiness there? Because obviously you're able to refeed and you're doing a different type of training, and for bodybuilding you said you were run down and you were fucked. Was there like an immediate fucking
100%?
I'm liking this.
100%. I love strongman. I love strength sports in general. Let's just say that, because usually you can eat. You've got a wee bit more leniency to eat what you know what you want, but it's not as disciplined as bodybuilding as it has to be. As long as I'm hitting about 2 grams of protein per kilogram body weight, carbs and fats will fluctuate a wee bit. I'm not too fussed about that. That's it really. Just tick the box and have enough veg and water. But I was straight back into it, just full replaying. I was just happy. Well, I'm still doing it now, so I must be enjoying it.
You must be, mate, and you're there as one start, as nobody can deny you're top 3 in the world. I know it's a great fucking achievement, but also know that inside there'll be a wee bit of you burning away that wasn't what you wanted. So I can pretty much guarantee that you're going to be back even harder and stronger next year. I can't see you settling until you've took that title.
You're totally right,
I can't see you settling at all. Quite a lot you talk to you see you're a wee bit jumpy, you're a wee bit fucking on edge. It always seems that there's a million and one things running through your fucking mind, whether that's training or anything like that. So if you've got, for instance, you're training, you're 3 weeks out for the Worlds, you can't fucking ease back in training because you've got your end goal, but you've got something on your mind that's burning away. How do you deal with a bad situation?
What if I was like 3 weeks out for a comp?
You're 3 weeks out for a comp and you need to apply yourself to your training. But you wake up and you've got a shit day or something burning away in your head. So how do you deal with it? How do you deal with a bad day, especially when you're so close to an end product?
Accepting that it's only temporary. It's one day. You know what I mean? Like, I completely commit my life to this. I'm not going to let... Like, I had a very lot of adversities, we'll say, this year. Like, I thought I was genuinely out the game. I couldn't even deadlift 40 kilo back in March.
No, you never even done the Scottish.
Didn't even do the Scottish.
I'd seen, I can't remember if it was Gary, but I'd seen people you coach with John Martin, a couple of other people. What the fuck's Dean? He's no doing well. And all stem back for the Worlds a year before when you competed with, was that broken foot or a broken toe?
I broke my toe, then technically broke my fucking foot because it internally and externally buckled it and it just went black.
But then after that, when you came back, was it like a shoulder issue as well? And
it was like it worked its way up. And I think it was just because of the amount of fucking gear I was on and all. It's like you're just turning into a fucking machine, innit? And I'm on tren and Trestolone and fucking whatever else. And I came off it all eventually. And what goes up has to come down. Still a drug at the end of the day. And then it bit me in the arse. And I was just, like, no, I bust my foot the day before I flew out. It was my last takeover session, and it was in hostile as well. I remember when it fucking happened because fucking I wasn't the most approachable person when it happened. And I was just like, right, I'm just going to have to fucking get on with this. Could I have won it if I didn't break my foot last year? Potentially.
Well, were you not leading after the second day?
I was first place coming the second day with a broken foot. And the good thing about it is, like, I've shut so many fucking people up. People, just like, no doubters and all that kind of stuff, but you hear wee bits and bobs about people talking it, like in the community, the strongman community, like, oh,
I know, but there's always you can't go home with everybody. Sometimes people, I do it, fucking you do it, we all do it. We've all got opinions of people because maybe we like somebody a wee bit better.
Aye, totally, and it's just, I think it's like, oh, he's saying that he broke his foot and all that kind of stuff, and he would have done better, and he says, she says, and that, and I was like, well, I've just fucking came back and fucking just showed you I'm not full of shit.
Yeah, but what I was hearing last year was because obviously I wasn't seeing you because you were only here training, but I was seeing maybe 5 or 6 people that were getting coach staff here, people that came from Edinburgh that knew you, and they're saying, oh, he's not in a good fucking place, his fit's fucked, his shoulder's fucked, his head's fucked, everything's fucked. And I'm like, fucking hell, man. And as you know, I've messaged you and phoned you a few times saying if you want to come for a brew up the woods and let's just fuck off. But then, this is one thing I'm curious about, and I want to know your thought process. Next minute, these war cats popped up on our fucking Facebook.
Aye.
You seen Dean's getting a war cat? I was like, he's getting a what? A fucking war cat. And just a wee bit of explanation, because people might wonder what war cats. You were trying to adopt cats for the Ukraine, was it?
Romania.
Aye. Right, well, people just obviously get a wee bit mistaken. They were calling them war cats. And I know you had a wee bit of a hard time. What went on? Were you just at fucking the lowest point?
I hit rock bottom, mate. I was going to fucking check out at one point. I genuinely thought I was going to kill myself, if I'm being honest. I'm open a bit. I thought I was going to go down to Waverley Station, just fucking jump in front of a train. That's what was going through my head. And it...
No, go to Edinburgh Waverley Station, mate. It's not exactly fucking covert or people could go down the woods, hang yourself off a chair, whatever. Waverley Station's a bit fucking public. Some should say that's trying to put across a message. You're saying, well, in my opinion, it's like, I need help. Fucking, who's here to help me if you want to go to a big public place at Waverley Station? Dean, what the fuck? What drives you to a level where you do want to kill yourself?
I think there was too many adversities at one point. So long story short, and this has all happened. The end of last year and the start of this year, lost about 50 grand taxpayer money, put into trading, didn't ever fucking invest in trading. It's the fucking worst thing I've ever done in my life. I trusted one of my friends and obviously it just went wrong. Broke up with my ex-partner, who was my first love. I was going to propose to her. Eventually, I would have, 100%, because I did love her and she loved me. Broke up with her. Tried to adopt cats. 4 of them died. 1 died in my arms. And then being isolated in my house, my family and all that kind of stuff. It's a bit tense, that sense of isolation, being injured. You know, I'm questioning myself. Can I deadlift fucking 40 kilo at the start of the year? I'm out of the game now. Is this it? You know what I mean? Because this is my career, innit? And it's all lead gen for marketing, coaching, and all that kind of stuff. And then it just started ripping other shit up that I've bottled down my whole fucking life. This is why I joined the Royal Marines, just to bottle shit down, you know. And it's like, how do I describe it? It's like stopping my mum for trying to fucking kill herself when I was 9. That started coming up, and I'm starting to think about that more because I'm just so fucking vulnerable. Like, I had nothing in me, and I'm like, I am fucking it. Like, I've got nothing. And that's where I was like, I don't think I can fucking handle any more of this.
Mm-hmm.
And there's times the whole training thing was just like, because it would have been quick.
Mm-hmm.
That's what was in my mind. But it wasn't. And I totally get like in a public eye, but see when you're at a point like that, you're not fucking thinking about anything like that.
You're just
what's the fucking fastest way I can do this?
Right.
That's what was going through my mind. Not like that at all now. We're good.
Mm-hmm.
Things have been rekindled, we'll say. Things are getting better financially, relationship wise. That's at the one day, but you know, whatever. Things, we move on with life. I can only hope the best for her. That's it.
Let's see, mate, I didn't know about your mum, and I've asked you if there's any barriers to this talk.
Nah, not at all. Go for it.
So when you're saying, fucking hell, I forgot, I fucking hump my throat here, mate.
Sorry.
When you're talking about suicide and the quickest way possible on a train, and you lost your mum at 9-year-old, when you've got these feelings, do you feel that you love your mum that much that you want to be back where, or is it a feeling of abandonment that she left you?
Probably a wee bit of abandonment, because like my dad done that, like when I was born, he just fucking left.
I had one of them, I know. Great cunt, isn't he?
I mean, just a coward, just a weak man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Just weak, and I can only hope the worst for him. Aye.
But my dad died about 6 years ago.
Really?
We found out it was the fucking happiest day of my life.
Fucking good.
So it was, because you're like, if I'd ever seen him again with the fucking leather and for my mum.
Yeah. Aye, totally. It's so fucking deep in it, and it's just my brother passing away and all that, and I always wanted to be an example for him and all that.
What age was you? I didn't even know you had a brother, Dean. Let's talk about it. Who is your brother and what age was he? Was he older or younger?
His name is Daniel, and he was a twin.
Right.
So he was premature with my sister Emma,
mm-hmm.
and they were twins. And obviously Emma survived, and Daniel didn't. But the hard thing is like, I always wanted a brother.
Mm-hmm.
Always wanted a brother.
So would they be younger than you then?
Yeah.
Right.
I would have been 24.
Right.
Now Emma's 24 now, so Daniel would have been 24, and I'm 32. So it was hard to take in, and obviously this had a massive mental effect on my mother. It wasn't stable anyway. It just fucking accelerated everything that was going on.
So what? So your mother had mental health issues leading up to her death?
Yeah, totally.
Obviously, I've got no scientific background. Yes, I'm just going to ask you pop that in. Do you think mental health is hereditary? Let me rephrase that. Is mental health hereditary, or is your mental state an effect of the massive impact your mother killed herself?
I think it is hereditary. I think you probably are born with some stuff. This is just, I'm no fucking scientist, but I think some things are hereditary. It's just how you manage them. And for example, I'm managing minds now by turning up for my clients, competing, contributing as much as I can to the sport, donating to charities, fucking adopting animals, saving animals, all these sort of things. Are they distracting tools? Yeah, in some way, but you know what? They're all for like, it's all to serve the world and give something rather than take. I think people take too much, in my opinion, and don't give enough back.
So do you think you found yourself a nice wee happy balance now where you're trying to help people in a way to help yourself?
100%. It's nice to be nice. And that's why I do donate a lot of money to charities. Foreign and Zelda, who are the two cats that I rescued through Romania. Like, I saved them, but they saved me.
What age are the cats now?
Oh, fucking hell. They've got Eastern European passports.
So they're probably 21.
So probably, they could be fucking whatever age they want, mate.
How long you had them?
I've had them for about 6 months.
Right.
And, I remember getting them and they were fucking, both of them had cat flu, which can, for a cat, that can kill them. Like, it can be fatal. But they had ear infections, tooth infections, fucking respiratory problems, cost me a fucking fortune.
Were they like wild cats or were they like
strays? They were strays, aye, and they got chucked in a fucking, must have been put in a fucking van with all the other cats that were on it. Aye. And taken, God knows how long it would have took to fucking get from Romania to Edinburgh. But they were in a bad way, and I only went to them because they were the two smallest and the youngest, because I knew the rest of them, probably their immunity system's probably a bit stronger. Survival rate is probably higher for them. They were fucked. I was like, I need to get them out now. So I paid the money, contribute the fee, and then I just got them fucking, just started fixing them, if anything.
How have they been going? Have they actually cost you a lot of money in vets bills or that, or just
Aye.
Have they?
Aye. Oh, aye, a lot of money, mate.
I was hoping you were going to say, no, I've just looked after them, fed them well.
No, it cost me a fucking fortune, but you came what, mate, it's just money. And you came what, life's more important than fucking money. You
fucking...
Aye, just be a good cunt, eh?
Aye.
If you're going to be a cunt, be a good one, mate.
Totally agree with you, mate. Totally agree with you. Right, so as you spoke about being natty, and then
not now, like.
Then you got on the gear, so you started using steroids. About 3 years ago, maybe?
30. I started taking them, so I'm 32, so two and a half years.
Right. Now we can't talk about steroids and mental health without linking the two of them together. Now, obviously, people say trend drives you off your fucking nuts, check drops will send you fucking lippy do, all of which I know you're using. So
it's not a good combo, is it?
No. And as we know, the Americans, well, the American government and the general public in America think steroids are the devil. Like, look at when Chris Benoit, the wrestler, fucking killed his family, then killed himself. He was found to have testosterone in his system, which was an extremely low dose. But the amount of prescription painkillers he had in his system were fatal. But the media did not report the painkillers. They reported the steroids. When in fact, because of his career and flying yourself off top ropes and wrestling rings, I know it's only acting, but what these guys do takes real skill and they do put the body through the mill. But he was reported as a manic fucking steroid abuser and not an abuser of prescription medication and alcohol. So, and this has happened as well. Like Eddie Guerrero died, and it's big in the wrestling world. But all you hear in America is steroids. So it has been linked, mostly through the media, to mental health. I used steroids for a long time. I'm a crabbit bastard, but I'm not an angry man. It's never drove me off. I've never had any mental health problems, and I know hundreds of people the same boat. But I do know people that get a wee bit of attitude and a bit aggressive. So in here, when you're in here and you're in here training, you're like a fucking madman. Sometimes you'll talk to me for 20 seconds, like, mate, I need to go, I need to do my set. I need to bother you that fast. And you're away and
just
you're fucking,
leave them alone.
You're all focused and you're in it. But in a way, they're focusing you to a better place. They're not focusing you to a dark place. Or do you think your mental health has went down since you started using steroids?
Everything comes at a cost, innit? It's a drug at the end of the day. But I read a book called The Chimp's Paradox, where it's more about conscious thoughts and that. And like, you know, steroids, in my opinion, just in general, I'll say, it heightens everything. Recovery, you know, fucking your testosterone, etc. But it's also aggression. You know what I mean? If you're anxious, you're going to get more anxious. But because I'm I'm very conscious of my thoughts. I'll know when the trend's kicking in. I can when to go, right, fucking calm down. You know what I mean? I'm a bit of a fucking hothead anyway, but it's just amped up a wee bit, even more. You know what I mean?
Well, since you think you recognise if you're starting to get a bit angry and you can relate to the training and just step back.
I won't come off it, but I'll just go, right, the trend's fucking taking over a wee bit.
We'll give an example. If I walked in the gym and you'd shit out of the place, and I'm like, fuck's sake, Dean, man, tidy yourself up. If you took that negatively because of the trend, do you think you could find yourself getting angry and realise, going, oh, hang on a minute, Martin's right, I'm just a wee bit... And then step back.
Yeah, totally.
You're not just going to gaff your tits and say...
It's just... So you've got rational and irrational thinking, you know what I mean? So it's just to be like, right, fucking step back, calm down, have a word with yourself, think about what you're going to say and do, or not say anything, just think what you're doing, and then just go, sound. Because it does accelerate everything, and especially Trenbolone. Trenbolone's... I'm not going to touch Tren until the next OSG. It's so fucking important. I'm only on Trestolone now, very low dose it, because I've got Class UK qualifying 2 weeks on Saturday, and then that'll be the last comp of the year. But I didn't really like being on it. But is it necessary for me to fucking compete at the highest level in the world? 100%. But did I get third in the world because of the trend? Yeah, probably. There you go. Well, did it make me aggressive?
Let's not do false advertising there.
Aye.
You don't just get to world level because of training. You get to world level because you're putting the fucking effort in your training, your hydration, your rest, and your nutrition. You're doing it all. I don't want people here going, oh, Dean Mcvie's on training, and they go and do
I probably didn't say that right there. I didn't say that. I put fucking 16 years of my life into this. 16 years of fucking committed training. I don't think I've ever missed a training session in my fucking life. I've had a lot of second places, a lot of failures in that, the comps, and that's where you get the fucking experience for. I have no idea how many second places I've had. I've had a lot of fucking podium spots. There's a lot of comps I've not won, but all the mistakes and all the wee bits, I'm going like, right, what can I take for that? What can make me develop as an athlete? I didn't really make mistakes now. At Worlds, I was... The under 80 lads would probably fucking agree. I was probably the most consistent of anyone in that comp, in the under 80 category anyway. It was just a sandbag to shoulder. It was a wee bit of fucking, just a wee bit of discrepancy, a wee bit of mix up with the ref and all that kind of stuff and the signals and that. But these things happen. Some of them are uncontrollable. I didn't let it bother me. Did it have a detrimental fucking, how do I describe it? Could it have potentially changed my position on the podium? Yes. Shit happens, fucking move on. I was still on the podium, so that's where I'm like, gratitude comes in. And it's still, I said to myself, 2019, was never on steroids, never took any, I was natty. I says, I want to be an example, you can get to world's strongest man without gear. And then 2020, COVID happened, pandemic. Then 2021, I went, I get to the top 10, I get finals, done it. Then, before I even done the comp, I says, I'm getting on that fucking podium. And then I've done that as well. And next year, I'm fucking... if it doesn't happen next year, it doesn't happen the year after, inevitably I'll be fucking world's strongest man under age. There's no ifs or buts about that. I've shut a lot of fucking people up as well with this as well. So I do back up my shit. If I say anything, because I didn't even really chat. I'm not like a negative person or all that kind of shit, but aye.
Nah, fuck me. I'm totally on the Dean Mcvie fucking bandwagon, mate. Absolutely. I know you're going to be world's strongest man. You've got 4 Scottish titles, or 2 different weight categories, and you were actually instrumental before me, but in conjunction with both of us, in making sure that Scotland's strongest man under 80 even existed. You were doing competing in the Brits, but you never had the Scottish title because there wasn't a Scotland's strongest man under 80s. And it was something that you pushed on to get. And then I spoke to Stuart Murray and we made it happen. And we had like 5 the first year, 8 the second, 11 the third, with 13 last year. And right now I've got like 27 names done. So in 5 years, I understand 25 will not turn up, but if you've got 25 names done, you've got to think at least 20 will turn up. And if we get that same volume next year, the only option will be to put a qualifier on. And apart from the Opens, there's no other weight category to go to qualifier. And people like you, even just saying, Martin, I've been speaking to Stuart, if we can get an under 80s on, would you host it? All right, okay. And I suppose it's good having a gym that you can put on a wee comp with 5 people. Because at the end of the day, it's my gym, I can do what I fucking want. And then you hope it grows, and it has grown. So then if we end up like fucking 30, 40 guys in under 80s, and a lot of these guys get into it because of Dean Mcvie was either their coach, and some guys came to you for coaching because they were like the same weight category, but then other people come because of your expertise and your achievements. So, and just in growing the men's under 80s, you've been a fucking lead figure for it, and a lot of people look up to you, and people do inspire to be you. And there's people out there coming through now that want to beat you. Chris Harper, for instance, a great addition to Scotland.
Yeah, it's good.
280 guys that will be going head to head in the Worlds next year. That'd be fucking phenomenal. So the whole point I'm going on about you, what you've done with the under 80s and all that, and how you're instrumental in creating it. You're moving to Canada within the next 5 to 6 months. Now, there's probably going to be better facilities. Well, no, probably. There will be better facilities in Canada.
It fucking cost me, or not?
Well, cost me. You'll just need to put your prices up. But you're moving out to Canada. There's going to be opportunity to train with more world-class athletes. Because I know there's good people here, but there's a lot more world-class people here in Canada and like America particularly that they'll just the casual fans never even heard of.
Yeah,
you can go and test yourself against them. So with going to Canada, with having a third in the world just back there the other month, with the goals that you've set for next year, where do you see yourself next year? Come the end of OSG, from right now to the end of OSG, where do you see yourself for the next year?
Good question. I know. Fucking.
Well, surely if you're not just going to Canada, there must be a plan.
I'm very impulsive, mate.
I know. But
I like winging things.
You've still kind of got a plan.
Nah, totally. It's just quite deep thought. Move to Vancouver, rent a place. I'll be working probably part-time outside a gym or something.
What do you mean part-time? Is your aim to go pro strongman?
I'm technically pretty much doing it anyway. I
know, but moving out to Canada, I mean, like, you've got to try and get more sponsorships, people to pay for you.
You know, I'm
food and all that stuff.
Nah, I'm not into that, man. I'll fucking I'm grateful enough to have Cerberus Strength and Team Affinity behind me this whole fucking time. Even though my commission goes to fucking animal charities anyway, I didn't do that for the money. But I make an earning, I make a living because I serve a lot of people, and with the coaching thing and that, I try and over deliver all the time, which creates retention, keep your clients happy, and they're going to fucking leave you other, especially when you're getting results for them. But back to the Vancouver, hopefully fucking maybe meet someone. If anything, fucking hell, someone can handle my fucking my personality. Just
what one?
Which one? Fucking Hank. Oh, Hank if I'm on the train. Dean if I'm on the test. Fucking hell, I'm so open about it. Probably the most open book about gear. Like, be world's strongest man. I'll only fucking stop until it happens, mate. There's no ifs or buts about it. I'm all in. I've been all in since 2016. I think I got 18th for the first time. Then 8th, then 3rd. Like, no one's ever done this in fucking the UK, never mind fucking Scotland. It is inevitable. I'm humble about it. You know what I mean? But when I'm there, I switch on when I need to.
When you're saying world's strongest man, is your thoughts to win it and stay at the top, or are you kind of in the Eddie Hall thing, push your body to the extreme just to get that title and then say you've done it and then you're done?
I fear that bit, mate. I think it's quite deep because it's like fulfillment in it. Like, you win that, like, what do you do? What's that? Well, you protect it, and that makes a real champion. You protect it, you can be a real champion. But
Eddie nearly died.
Aye.
I don't think he'd much option than to retire for his health, and he's very motivated and very driven. He's also clever and he loves his family. And obviously, I don't know officially, but I think he'd promised his wife if he was going to retire and he was going to drop weight and live a good family life. And he's handled it well with his social media following. He's making money. So when you're saying where'd you go for there, he's turned himself into a celebrity. So totally. He's getting a different type of fulfillment every day. He's paying the bills, but he's also getting to spend all his time with his son.
That's true.
He bought a tank to pick his son up for school.
Fucking mental.
Imagine trying to book your cats in a tank. We cat hats and you're sitting in your tank.
I'll fucking do it, mate.
5 years time I'll be doing a podcast fucking via Zoom or something going, Dean, see you bought a cat tank.
Aye, cat tank.
Mate, I was getting it for fucking, it was a good deal. Had to get it, I couldn't be saying, oh mate, I know. Well, fucking hell, man. Fucking hell. Absolutely no doubts at all. So, win World's Strongest Man, build a life in Vancouver. And obviously, it's is this a going out for work and look at life, or are you hoping it's going out for a full change of life? And
full change of life, mate. Mate, I love Scotland and that, but it's. I'm bringing up my ex-partner again, but I'm not going to be well. You know what I mean? It breaks my heart. It's a metaphor. It does break my heart, but I've got nothing to. Like, I'm going to financially support my gran and my nephew, who are pretty much the only parts of the family I actually fucking care about, really, and just help them while I'm over there, and just fucking ride the wave, because there's no risk, no story. I always keep that in my mind, to take some fucking risks.
Oh,
you know what I mean? It might not work out, who knows? But there's only one way to find out. There's not going to go over there.
Well, Ken Nowitzki done it.
Yeah, totally.
He's been over there 8 years, something like that, maybe 9 years. He's had a couple of girlfriends, he's settled down a couple of times, but I think he's maybe engaged now.
Is it Ken Nowitzki? Ken
Nowitzki.
Oh.
Ken Nowitzki. It looks like, it's N-O-W, you're just saying it wrong, but it's pronounced Nowitzki.
Aye.
Ken won Scotland's Strongest Man. I think Ken was the last man to win it before Luke started winning it.
Aye.
So he was...
Is he on Severus Strength USA?
Yes.
Aye. So he was at OSG stands.
Right.
I mean, we ended up chatting a lot of shit.
Nah, anyway, Ken and Stephen Cherry had some really good battles back in the day. Went back and forth for that title of Scotland's Strongest Man. I think Stephen won it first, and then Ken got it. But he's a nice guy. But you see him live and all that. And I like Ken. He's a great guy. He actually opened my gym for me. Came here on a wee seminar to open hostile. I always appreciate it. But he's got that fucking accent, mate. He's half Scottish, half Canadian. Don't do that, mate. Don't do that.
Me and Big Stu Graham were chatting to me, and I was just like, that's a fucking weird accent, like.
Aye. Oh no,
Limmy's in that fucking accent, man. I'm like, that's what it's like. I'm like, fucking.
He's from Dunblane.
Aye, he's up.
He was at school when that massacre went on.
Did he?
Aye, he was up there. I'm sure Andy Murray was as well. Was he the tennis player? Aye.
I think he just got fucking engaged or something in Scotland not long ago. But he was up in Edinburgh Castle and that not long ago.
Aye, no, he
so
does.
Came over that neck of the woods.
He does come back. Right, mate, so I want to get into something totally unrelated, just for a wee bit of lightheartedness.
Is it going to get weird?
No, it's just, I just want to talk shite about this cunt. The Liver King. So,
fucking...
So you're aware of who the Liver King is?
I know, fine, yeah.
Are you aware he got exposed 2 days ago?
Yeah.
So, the Liver King, did you actually watch a video and read the emails?
I seen a wee email thing, but you know what, it's...
Right, so what was going on was, he had been trying to build a Liver King brand. He'd actually already started his social media where he was calling himself the Liver King. I can't remember his name, some Johnson or something, but he had his own name then, in brackets, the Liver King. And he was saying that he wants coaching from this person. The person's name was redacted, and he was talking about his cycle. He was on 11 grand a month, a year, and he had something like 60,000 followers, and now he's up into the millions, and he has built himself this massive brand. He claims to make £100 million a year. I think about that's maybe exaggerated, but he's always went on about these 9 ancestral tenets about eating raw meat and all that. Basically, the guy's full of fucking shite.
He's fucking full of it.
Aye, so being an ex-natty who now has got no qualms about telling anybody about the amount of steroids he's taking, what do you think when people like this are just fucking talking shite, especially if they're in benefit? Basically, they're kind of... Well, I'll rephrase that. As a coach and an ex-natty person, he has created this persona with people believing that you can achieve false results.
Like eat fucking ox balls or some fucking weird shit. He's just a fucking parasite, isn't he? It's a younger generation, innit, that watch all this shit because it's social media, innit? And if someone's got followers, you're going to get more exposure.
And
he's
some people,
he's profiting it.
To some people, social media is real life. If
Totally.
you see it on social media, it's real.
There's a lot of fucking really, really false fucking people out there in every fucking sport, in every industry and all that kind of stuff. And I'd rather just be an open book about it. I have any fear of judgment. That's the thing, and that's what stops a lot of people. And I get it in sponsors and all that kind of stuff, and I totally respect it, but some people are just fucking lying so they can profit through people. I'm an open book. I am on steroids. I couldn't give a fuck. But I've also done it on Natty as well. Am I scared about losing my sponsorships? No, because I'm an open book about it, and they respect that as well. That's that, innit? But I don't know. I feel like the fucking Dark Knight a wee bit. I'm like fucking, you know what I mean? It's like you can't be talking about your jail. It's kind of like someone. I'm going to exclude the name because I can't mention the name, but it's quite big in the Scottish strongman scene. But he says I'm jailbait.
Right.
I'm like, fucking good, mate. Yeah. Good. I'll make you sweat a wee bit. You know what I mean?
Nah, you're like an anti-hero, mate. You're like Venom. Something like that.
Good character.
So what we're saying is Liver Kings. Is he a good guy or a ball bag?
Ball bag. Full-blown Bob.
Absolutely. Right, mate. So we've covered quite a lot and you've gave some great answers. Let's say this. I put a couple of bullet points down so I could remember what to ask you. Aye. But the whole point today was about being unscripted and just getting an honest view because I know you're an honest man. So one big thing and it's probably the final thing I'm going to ask you.
Go for it.
Mental health can never be fixed. What advice, and I know everybody will differ, what advice, if any, could you give people to get themselves in a better place? Because we know they can't be fixed, but they can be in a better place. Like you're saying, you're helping people to help yourself. If you're honest about things, you'll never ever get caught out, because even if you gain an opinion that is unpopular with people, you'll never get caught out because it is your honest opinion. And you'll always remember honesty, whereas you can get tripped up by lies, i.e. the fucking Liver King. So what advice have you got for people that might be sitting in the same situation? There could be an existing strongman fucking struggling. There could be just a member of this gym or a member of any other gym that subscribed to this channel, follows us there. Somebody's getting coached by you. Could be sitting right now with their head in their horns, wondering where they're going to get money for to buy their daughter Christmas. And that could be a catalyst for kicking off a whole line of things. And statistically, I did check this out yesterday. Christmas time is one of the highest times of the year for suicide. So it's not a good time for people that keep sitting struggling right now. And we've been speaking for 42 minutes now. So the time people have got through this and listened to you talking for 42 minutes, honest answers, open book about your highs and your lows, what is it you can bring to the table to close this up?
I think just talking to people, talk to your friends, talk to your family. Fucking, you need to go to a doctor, you know, toxic masculinity. It's just the men as well, eh? Like Thomas over there. Exercise. That's why I started it for my mental health as well. You know what I mean? One shit session's better than no session. You know what I mean? But I think just speaking to people about things.
I know, but everybody says speak about people. I'm not trying to bust your balls here, mate.
That's all right, mate.
What do you do when you don't want to talk to somebody though? Because I've phoned you up before and you fucking wouldn't answer, and it's a voice note and you're going, mate, I'm sorry, I can't talk right now. I appreciate your call, but I think
with myself, it's a bit cliche, but time heals all a wee bit, and I just had to back off a wee bit. I think that's what it was. It was a wee bit alarming.
When you're talking time, so let's just, I'll phone you, you don't want to talk, you send a voice note 20 minutes later saying, mate, I appreciate you, but I don't really want to talk now, it'll be alright. Can your fucking mindset change in 10 minutes, an hour, half a... For anyone to wonder what that noise is, it's my dog. So half an hour, is it overnight or is it just completely random? When you're saying talk to people.
That's Thomas out, by the way.
Aye, that's a W. I'm not going to kid on that. I'm not going to edit that video. I'm not in front of this. So you're saying talk to people, I'll phone you, you don't want to talk. And then you're saying sometimes it takes time. Is that 20 minutes and then something clicks, you're like, oh, right, fuck it, I'll give my wee phone back. Is it overnight? Do you need to go away fucking deep inside yourself and sit for a couple of hours and put some angry music on and listen?
I think just having a bit of, believe it or not, I used to meditate.
Right.
Meditate now and then just to get my genuine, like, proper zen out and that, and the breathing techniques and all that kind of stuff. But I suppose every individual's different as well, mate. I think mine was just, I need to take a few hours back,
right?
And then I can start, because I could really close myself off.
So if you weren't ready to talk, you had a backup system where it was you needed a couple of hours
and
quiet
just distract
time.
myself as well. I put fucking PlayStation on or something. Just summit. You know what I mean? Training. You know what I mean? As a deterrent in some way. Definitely saved my life. Exercise, 100%.
And what about your clients? Obviously, when you're feeling shit, you've still got.
I never project that onto them.
No, but I mean, you've still got responsibilities to review their training programs or videos and deliver the programs when they're needed. So that must be a good distraction. Did your work ever suffer? Were you ever late, or did you manage to always stay on top of your work?
Honestly, I think it's a military thing. Just in the military in general, but I was in the Royal Marines. It's just turning up. Sometimes it's like I'm rock bottom. I was like, I'm still turning up for my clients because they're the ones that are putting food on my table. You know, I'm grateful for every one of my clients that I get the privilege to coach. You know what I mean? I've helped a lot of them with their mental health as well. But being at rock bottom, being at the lowest point, I was still turning up. Was it a distraction? 100%. But I had no choice either, and that was the beauty of it. I had to do it. It wasn't, I'll do that tomorrow. If I left that a day, I'm fucked. I'm not got a choice. I need to do it, and it was and I'm grateful for my clients because they've done a lot more than they actually think. Not just putting a bit of food on my table. If you know what I mean? Oh, totally, 100%.
Dean, we're going to wrap it up, pal. But you're an absolute fucking legend, mate. Thanks very much for all your time. Obviously, I'll see you again, but just for the sake of trying to appear like a good cunt on the camera, best of luck in Canada, big man.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, pal.